welcome back to Around Our World in 80! Yay! Reagan is having nap time after a very fun but little sleep weekend camping. So if you can't tell, it's football season, y'all! I think every season I get way more excited about football than you. Man of many words. Because it's football season, we actually decided to stray away from your typical Disney movie, in my opinion, and watch a live action film. Remember the Titans!
That's right, Maddie. They started on the 50-yard line. Now they're down to the 45. 40. He's gonna go all the way.
So Remember the Titans was actually released in 2000, and they describe it as an American biographical sports drama film. The plot of the movie takes place in the 1970s, and it kind of chronicles the integration of a school between white and black students. If you haven't seen the movie, I highly suggest it. Do you remember actually seeing this movie in theaters?
I don't think I saw it in theaters.
Really? I remember seeing it in theaters. I also think this was at least in my relatively short life, this was kind of the beginning of a lot of sports films kind of cut from this cloth.
It was at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
There were several that came out around that time, but this was probably one of the better ones.
Yeah, I agree. So they had a lot of different filming locations, but as with any movie that's not necessarily a documentary, but rather based on a true story, there are some things that actually happened that didn't make it into the movie, and then some things that were in the movie that didn't actually happen. It says Coach Boone may not have been as inspirational a coach as Washington portrays in the movie. In interviews, many former Titan football players say that they believed his coaching strategies had no correlation to their success and were indeed too harsh, causing some players to quit. It does say it is fully true that the Titans were ranked second in the nation at the end of the 1971 season, finishing 13-0, with 9 of those wins being shutouts.
That's impressive.
In the movie, Coach Boone says, "We are not like all the other schools in this conference. They're all white. They don't have to worry about race. We do." This is false as well, as all the schools that the Titans faced were integrated years before. The part where Bertier's car accident happened, it actually says that it took place on December 11th, after the season-ending state championship game. Bertier had been at a banquet honoring the team for their undefeated season. After the banquet, Bertier borrowed his mother's new 1971 Chevrolet Camaro. Bertier lost control of the Camaro and crashed. The movie shows him getting broadsided. The cause of the accident was actually determined to be a mechanical failure in the engine mount.
So it wasn't even that he was goofing off or whatever. The engine
had a failure.
Had issues and caused him to lose control. That's intense.
Remember the Titans opened strongly at the U.S. box office, grossing over $26 million in its first weekend and staying within the top 5 for 6 weeks. It eventually went on to gross an estimated $115 million in the U.S. and $136 million worldwide. Among mainstream critics in the U.S., Remember the Titans received generally positive reviews. Rotten Tomatoes reported that 73% of 132 sampled critics gave the film a positive review. James Bertinelli, writing for Real Views, called the film relentlessly manipulative and hopelessly predictable, but noticed that it was a notch above the average entry in part because its social message, even if it is soft-pedaled, creates a richer fabric than the usual cloth from which this kind of movie is cut. All right, critic Jared, what do you think of Remember the Titans?
It's a really great movie, although it is a little disappointing to find out that they took so many different liberties with parts of the story.
I get that you're making it about real people, but I think that people going to the movie understand that, and I think their overall message was not just talking about race, in my opinion, but it's just talking about hating other people for one reason or another. In this case, in this plot, it was directed at race, but I think you can extrapolate it to a lot of other things, and I think they made strategic story choices so that the message of how stupid it is basically to hate somebody for one reason or another instead of just getting to know them, that message got across loud and clear.
Yeah, I thought that's the purpose of your movie, then They did a fantastic job. It'd be cool. It'd be even more powerful, I think, if you found a scenario where you didn't have to fudge on certain details so much, and you had the same story and the same depth of story, but without the falsified information side of it.
I forgot how much I loved this movie. Because it had been a really long time. Jared's watched it how many times?
A lot.
But it had been a really long time since I had seen it. And rewatching it, it made me realize, especially since that movie came out in 2000, so it's been now 18 years, and it made me realize, yes, we've got a lot of issues socially and politically and things like that. Even just relating it to politics, a lot of people despise other people and, you know, hate on them on social media or other places just because of the letter after their name. You know, a lot of people think, you know, whether it's guys versus girls, they just despise men or despise women or whatever because of a certain gender. Same thing goes for race. And I think that, yes, these are different things that divide us, but what I really love about this movie is it forces you to think, do I really just hate somebody because of insert the blank? Or have I gotten to know them enough to know their character? And I think that if we actually took the time to get to know people and get to know their character, that a lot of the issues that we see these days would probably go away. Okay, off my soapbox now. Let's talk about football.
Fellas, this is football. A game played with passion, with spirit, with fun.
If you don't know that clip, it is from one of the Mickey shorts, and it's one of our favorites. So because it is football season, I think you could possibly tell who we're going for. It's totally Alabama. No,
Go
we
wash
both...
your mouth out with soap right now.
No, we both went to Ada, and we both love the Aggies. That's where we met. But we also really, really love football. And I think a lot of our favorite memories are actually going to the games in college together. We specifically talk about the Nebraska game. I think it was our sophomore or junior year. Nebraska came to College Station.
You are looking live at a sold-out Kyle Field in College Station, Texas, where the Nebraska Cornhuskers have come for a final Big 12 visit.
And we ended up upsetting them like 13 to...
It's 9-6.
9-6. I knew it was a 3-point difference.
9-6. 3 field goals against 2 field goals. And we did a 4 down stand to win the game.
It was incredible. We were like both losing our minds.
The whole stadium was losing their minds.
We also maxed out the stadium. They actually had to put chairs on the track at what used to be the old version of Kyle Field to accommodate as many people as there were tickets.
Yeah, because it only used to hold like 88,000, and they sold it up to like 92,000 or 95,000 people.
There were so many people packed in there, but it was so much fun.
That was the loudest anything I think I've ever been at.
We were just discussing this. I think the loudest football game that I've ever been to is actually at the old Texas Stadium at a Cowboys game. My mom got invited to watch one of the Cowboys games in her company box. And I remember going, I think I was a teenager at the time, but it was so loud. Like, I had never, like, you could feel it in your chest and just, like, reverberating everywhere. It was crazy.
I think it would have been a lot louder at the A&M game if we would have been down in the stadium.
Yeah,
we were
maybe.
pretty high up, so we didn't have as nearly as loud as it, like, if it would have been on the field. I think that probably would have topped just about anything. That was the most intense.
Position, location.
That was the most intense crowd. Like, the stadium was shaking not because people were stomping. It was just the airwaves moving was so strong and so powerful from everybody yelling.
We were in the student section, though, and we have if not the best, student sections in the entire nation.
No matter what other stupid polls say last week.
So, we watched, who did we play? Louisiana, ULM. University of Louisiana at Monroe. So not the most exciting game to probably blog about, especially since when you're watching this, the Alabama game just happened. So regardless of how the Alabama game turns out, that's not part of this blog. We always kind of do like a kickoff to fall, even though it's Texas and it's 96 degrees outside. We always do a kickoff to fall whenever football season starts, and so we decided that we were going to do a good old-fashioned football watching family time, doing chili, and then I tried my hand for the first time at blackberry pie. Hey, Duchess. Are you ready for the football game? Hi. Let's go to dinner.
Hi.
Alright, let's see here. The little slits didn't exactly get put center. Ooh, it's crumbly.
Oh look, you got a crust.
I got a crust.
Maybe you need those spoons after all.
Let me get a big spoon.
It seems very runny on the inside.
It's gonna be a deconstructed blackberry pie.
Also, by the time we get to the last piece in the pan, there may not be any filling left.
Yeah. Hey, we learned something though, and I'm sure it's still gonna be delicious.
Oh, I already tasted the filling. It's going to be delicious.
Alright, Maddie's reaction. Mmm. Oh yeah, is it really good? Time for Daddy's reaction? Little blackberry.
That's really good.
Hello. Can you say giggle? Who do you want to win? Alabama or Ole Miss? This is our football watching face. So, we just finished the LSU Auburn game. How are we feeling about that?
I was rooting for the team that didn't win.
Yeah. Are you
That
petting
was
the Duchess, Reagan? Apparently Daddy's chest is
snuggle-worthy compared to Mom's.
1 minute 38 seconds left in the first half. ULM has it 3rd and goal. We're winning 17-3 so far. How are you feeling about the game?
Not nearly as impressive as it should be.
No. I appreciate that we're trying to work on the run game, but it's kind of been a boring game compared to last week.
We just blocked a field goal attempt for a touchdown. Woo! Whoop. Yeah, I can't believe he caught that deflection.
He caught that on the run.
Yeah.
Going the other way. It was like they worked that out as a play or something.
I know. All right. We win.
So that's it for this week. We had a great time, as we always do, watching our favorite team play on the gridiron and kick some butt. And going to be rooting really hard this weekend.
Yep.
Really hard.
Extra hard.
And praying really hard to do well. But it is a sport. It's just, in Texas, it's a little more than a sport usually. Oh, stop it.
There.
So, go Aggies.
Yep.
Have a good week.
Get going.
We'll see you next time.
Bye. Whoop.